So apparently Marlo's building a house, Ty's building a shag pad, Sheree gonna get stood up by Tyrone, and Drew still getting cheated on. Girl, cue the music. Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or fuck discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We're here to discuss Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 14, Episode 4. Girl, it's a lot going on. Let's get into it. So the episode opens up. Marlo shows up to this building site. This is where the Hamptons will be built. If your girls did not know, we have watched many houses and many estates be built on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got to witness Chateau Sheree for the last 20 years. We got to witness Moore Manor. We've gotten to witness Candy's cribs put together. We've even gotten to witness doggone what's the girl name who left, who was boring, but you know she was Nene's best friend, Cynthia. We've even gotten to witness Cynthia, child. Now we start with the Hamptons. You know, I'm here for the girls building houses. I'm especially here for Marlo because Marlo's building a house and she has this where it's gonna be her nephews are gonna have their own floor, meaning y'all go y'all ass downstairs, don't want to see you, don't want to hear you, don't want to find you. And she wants her whole like upstairs to be a department store type deal. You know, I'm here for it because you know Marlo's all about her closet and her fashions, baby. That means more than anything. So much more that hell, the closets are bigger than her room. The builder said he had to take off 1,500 square feet so that they can stay within budget. So now there's a flashback of Candy asking Marlo how much it costs, and she was like $8,000 or $800,000 less. Listen, Marlo is not trying to give y'all the tease on how she getting her coin. Just know she getting it. The bag is got. That's all Marlo was telling y'all to do. Don't ask me how I got it, just know it's got. That's basically where Marlo coming from with it. So they talking about that. He telling them he got to take off, you know, a little square footage. And she was like, oh, Lord, I hope not from the closet. Girl, Marlo, you got 3 closets. Marlo's closets are bigger than her bedroom. And her bedroom is only 500 square feet. But according to Marlo, all she needs is a bed in there. She don't need all that. You know what? I'm here for it. I ain't never seen it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be dope. Well, she's like, I got some friends pulling up. Here they go. You know, one of them, it took her 20 years to build. And the other one's still building. I said, oh, no. Right then and there, I knew it was Sheree and doggone Kenya. I said, now y'all dirty. Marlo, you shady. I love it. I'm here for it. So they get out the car, girl. Kenya get out the car, and Kenya likes it. No shade, no tea, no nothing. Kenya was just like, you know what? This is super nice. She started asking the builder all these questions, and the builder was answering them, firing them back off. And she was like, you really know what you're doing. And he was just like, yeah, girl, this is what I do. What is you saying? But Kenya is actually here for Marlo building her home. Marlo invited those girls because in my mind, I'm like, these are the last 2 girls you should invite because y'all be like throwing the shade. But Marlo was like, listen, these girls done built their homes. I know how it can be all kind of crazy. I really want to learn from their successes, not their failures. I'm here for it, Marlo. Marlo got a little growth going on. See, ever since she became a Monty, she got a little growth going on. Go ahead on, Marlo, as you should. Show your growth, girl. I'm here for it. Marlo feels like everybody always bringing up her money. Kenya was like, girl, Marlo, you the one always bringing up your money. And the messy ass producers flashed back to the archive event where she was just like, just know I get the bag. Don't worry about the bag. Just know I get it, or something to that effect. But Marlo feels like, look, y'all always asking me about my coin, girl. Just know that it's here. Why do you care where I'm getting it from? But Kenya was like, Marlo, you the one bring that shit up. And a lot of times, Marlo, you do, because you do lead with your fashion, your money, you know, your Chanel, your designer. You do lead with that. So, you know, I kind of understand where Kenya is coming from. But we can't lie. We all know Candy's trying to find out where she getting that bag from. Candy, worry about all 12 of your bags. Leave Marlo's bag alone. And if Marlo's still getting money from that billionaire, the only issue I have is why haven't she introduced him to me? Because y'all ain't even together no more, girls. Shut up, wealth. Anyway, but Kenya's still giving Marlo compliments about the home and says it's going to be really nice. And Marlo really appreciates that because even though the girls are shady, and they are, Marlo does realize that Kenya's opinion matters. You know what I mean? Like these girls, this circle of girls, their opinion matters. Keep in mind, Marlo is doing this without a Nene. This is all Marlo. Like, meaning not building a home, but she's interacting with these girls without Nene being involved. So this is a thing for her. So I'm here for it, Marlo. You know I love me some Marlo. Marlo can't do no wrong. So Sheree asked Kenya if she'll be seeing Mark when they all go up to the play, because they all said they still going to the play to New York. And Kenya was like, girl, no. I'm going to just have somebody drop Brooklyn off. And girl, that's it, girl. I don't need to see him. And I'm like, she don't. Like, she really don't. Like, well, I wouldn't, child, look, Brooklyn, get in that doggone Uber and get up there by your daddy. I'm not going over that child. But anyway, she going to send Brooklyn off. But Kenya asked Sheree if she going to see Tyrone. And Sheree says, yeah, you know, Tyrone said it's within his 100-mile radius, so he gonna be able to make it. Now, ladies, let me give y'all the tip. So, when your man is an ex-con and he's out on parole, probation, or whatever the case may be, you know where they slap that bracelet around their ankle, that ankle monitor, they got restrictions and things they can and can't do. So now you got to get in touch with the white man to see if you can go down the street to the play. You know what I'm saying? And that's typically what you're going to have to go through. He can't travel. He can't bring you to the grocery store. He can't do none of this. Leave them ex-cons where they at. In prison and in the doggone halfway houses. Leave them where they at, fat. Don't do this. Sheree is an example of what not to do when we talk about dating. Okay, black women? This is just for black women. Everybody else, you can take advice too, but this is specifically the black women. Leave them ex-cons with the cons. Okay? Let's move on. But yeah, she was like, he probably gonna pull up, girl, because this is within his radius or whatever. And I'm just sitting here going, that is not cute. Anyway, but Sheree can't wait for him to meet everybody. Kenya asked how she feels about going on this trip with Drew. Girl, Sheree said, girl, I'm going on the trip. I'm not worried about no Drew. Drew don't make nothing pop over here, girl. I'm gonna go on the trip and I'm gonna have fun. As you should. So I love that Sheree has a positive vibe about it. Candy and Todd in the next scene takes a walk, child. They walking up the street like as if they do this type of stuff all the time. And we know they don't. But Candy and Todd takes a walk, and Candy starts talking about the play. She says, you know, the sales are picking up, but actually they in the red, girl. They got to get some butts in them seats. Candy basically has spent more than she's making back is what I gathered, from it. She told Todd, look, invite Wreck-It Ralph and all these other people because we need to get some butts in these seats. Like, go ahead on, tell the Ben, pull up, come to the thing, you know what I'm saying? There's only 2-3 more people, but add them because we need all the sales count. All sales matter because she's trying to make her coin back. Now, Candy, I get it. I just feel like plays are beginning to be a thing of the past, if it makes sense. Like, plays is something that used to be so popular, so popular prior to social media. But now that everybody has everything at their fingertips, I'm not saying that people don't go to plays. But I just feel like plays are something that's going to fade out. I wouldn't invest into another play, Candy, if I was you. That's just me. That's just me. I wouldn't do it. Well, Todd says, cool. But since everybody coming up, though, we can go up to see the Jersey apartment. Candy don't want to hear it. Candy was just like, Candy is not trying to go see this apartment because Candy don't understand why he even have the damn apartment. Todd feels like, listen, Candy, you do your thing, I be doing mine. I'm trying to have my own thing with this apartment. It could be an asset to everybody, to all of us. It's our apartment. And Candy was just like, well, where my key at? He hollers, see, he deflected, girl. He didn't even, where is her key, Todd? Because remember on the last episode, you said my name ain't on this house, yet you have a key to turn the door. You know what I'm saying? Where is Candy key? Because you don't want her to walk in on you at the shag party. That's my opinion. Said what I said. But Candy was like, you know, if you ain't got my key, like, I feel like I don't need to be dealing with this. And Todd feels like, listen, it could be a home away from home when you come down to Jersey. We could do this, that, and the third. Candy was like, child, look, I'd rather stay in the hotel, mess it up, and walk out and let the people deal with it. I don't want to have to deal with a whole nother place to live. Like, that's a lot. But Todd feels like Candy is being selfish. Todd says, Candy, you don't like it because you didn't build it, basically. That's what I got from it. I'm just paraphrasing, right? You gotta allow Candy, or Todd says you have to allow him, to have his own thing. You know, if he want to be up there with his, boys and shagging and whatnot, you gotta let me have that, basically, is what he's saying. Now, Candy, let the man have his shag pad. He said he'd rather do that. You know what I'm saying? But just let the man have his shag pad, because he gonna shag anyway. He been shagging through Atlanta. That's what the people say, not me. But I'm just saying, Candy felt like he forcing it, and Ty was just like, everything ain't about you, Candy. Sometimes it's about other people. I agree. Candy is so used to being the center of everything and everything being about her. Maybe she is having an issue with Ty having his thing. That's my opinion. Let's move on. Drew is getting ready for counseling with Dr. Ken. Child. Why are we talking about Drew and Dr. Ken and Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph? Why are we doing this? Why are we sitting up here talking about Wreck-It Ralph and Drew? I hate it. I hate it for y'all. I hate it for me. I hate it for everybody. Because either she's that stupid or she playing. She faking. That's no other thing. I can't even come up with nothing else. Either she's that stupid or she playing in all outfits. But the fact that we got to deal with her and Wreck-It Ralph, I mean, I guess ain't nothing else really popping off on season. Hell, all we got from Candy and Todd is an apartment. So let's go, girl. So they getting ready for Dr. Ken to come on in. Dr. Ken gonna make his first real in-person appointment, because before they've only done it virtually. And he's there, according to Wreck-It Ralph, to try to fix him. Jesus is the only person that can fix you, Wreck-It Ralph. That's it. I'm sorry. Just Jesus. Not white Jesus, black Jesus. He's the only one that can fix you. Dr. Ken can't fix you, but go ahead and sit down on the couch. So they go sit down. Producer, in the meantime, when Drew's in her confessional, because we see that Anthony is still there. So the producer asks Drew, what is this probation thing? Like, what does this even mean? Drew's response is, listen, when my husband, he works for a technology company, and I've worked at places too, and typically you don't just get fired, you go on probation first, and then you get fired. So right now, this is his probation period. And I'm like, girl, them people just said at the last meeting that your husband is a booty bandit. Why is you keeping him around talking about some damn probation? Girl, this ain't no real job. You ain't no corporation. Fire his ass. He's an assistant. But you don't want to fire him because you like that mess. See, you like that. You want all the tea. So you rather put your husband's reputation, what's left of it, out in the streets in order to keep up with the tea. Girl, be cool with him. Call him on the phone. You don't have to have him as your assistant. And then furthermore, I still don't know why you need an assistant. They say you got about 4 or 5. I'm still trying to figure out why you have those, because I don't see you do nothing. You ain't acting. You ain't acting. So what the hell you need all these assistants for? Somebody drop down in the comments and let me know. Anyway, so yeah, she explains her probationary period. So after she explains that, Dr. Ken comes in, and they start talking about, well, Wreck-It Ralph brings up the dinner. You know, that the one that he did where he had the roses and all that, and got up and said she don't appreciate nothing. And I was like, look, I was trying to be nice. I did all this. I did all that. All for her to keep bringing up the old stuff. Like, and it's just not okay. Really, I had steak and lobster, and she was like, it's not about the things, Wreck-It Ralph. It's not about the things. And he was just like, but your ass deserve a Lunchable. You know, a lot comes out in the joke and when people mad. The truth comes out in a joke and when people mad. When he said your ass deserved a Lunchable, he meant that. He didn't say fast food. He didn't say, you know, a sandwich. He said a Lunchable, child. That's how he looking at you and feeling about you. Take note, Drew. Either you that stupid or this is all an act. And if it's an act, I feel some type of way. Get up off my tube. I didn't sign up to watch no doggone play. No pun intended, Candy. Y'all go catch Candy play. Anyway. But he feels like he didn't get appreciated. Dr. Kim was just like, well, you know, Drew, sometimes you can just live in the moment. Why don't you just do that? But Drew feels like, which is valid, why are we brushing over this stuff and acting like it's all cool when shit is bad? Like, no, I don't want to have a candlelight dinner until we fix what the hell is going on. That is a very valid thing. Like, but again, you're talking to another man. He's not going to see it that way. So they go back and forth, they going at it. And Dr. Kim was like, do y'all realize y'all just attack each other? That's literally all y'all do. Like, y'all literally sit there and attack each other. So with that being said, I'm going to give y'all an assignment. We're going to do this challenge where you can't fuss, argue, or bring up anything negative for the next 30 days. If you do, then you're going to have to do whatever the other person wants you to do for at least 24 hours. So if Wreck-It Ralph wants you to bend it open and bust it open for 24 hours straight 5 times a day, you're going to have to bend it over and bust it open. And in my mind, I'm saying, ew, like, I just didn't want to have that visual, whatever. But he's giving them the assignment. And Drew was just like, well, I don't understand. And he was like, listen, if you don't like it, don't break the rules. It's Easy peasy. Just don't break the rules. That's all he's saying. So that's y'all assignment, girl. It ain't gonna work. I'm sorry. It ain't gonna work. I ain't trying to be negative, but it's just ain't gonna work. But anyway, the doctor asked them if they both willing to fix it and work on it, and they say they are. Allegedly. Anyway, let's move on. Kenya in Brooklyn is packing. Sanya, she packing. She was like, look, I don't know what Candy got planned, but I got something planned for you, Ross. So I'm just like, y'all not getting booty? Why y'all gotta go on a vacation? I know it's like 12 people in the house. You can't find a room to duck off in. So apparently she got something planned for Ross. Ross is a fine man. Go ahead on, girl. Plan for your husband. Safari and Patrick arrives to Kenya house, girl. Why in the world was Safari walking up with a leash, a collar with Safari? No, yeah, Safari had the leash, the collar around Patrick's neck and dragging him. She wasn't even dragging him, but that's just the visual I got. He looking like a wet puppy, and they got a box, and this is supposed to be the invites or whatever it is to the plate. Girl, she got to doggone Drew house. Drew telling Wreck-It Ralph to close his eyes because you know he over there winking. You know what I'm saying? You know he cheating on any chance he get. She turned around telling him to wink his eye. She's running around telling him to close his eyes. And I'm sitting here going, what in the world does this have to do with anything? Kenya got in her confessional, was just like, I mean, couldn't you just send us a playbill? Why are you sending us naked people with pasties on and ass, titties and ass? Girl, why? And you know, Candy, you wonder why the people said the rumor was you were sucking dick in the locker room. You wonder why they said that. You wonder why. This ain't had nothing to do with the play. Yet here comes Patrick and Safari wiggling and wobbling up to these people doorsteps to go to a play. Make it make sense. So anyway, Marlo gets on FaceTime with, who was Marlo on FaceTime? Marlo and Drew get on FaceTime, and Drew asked Marlo if she got the bedroom candy. Girl, Marlo was like, I don't need all that. I got panties. I got buku drawers around here. I don't need nothing. So Drew was like, girl, that girl that sent the naked woman to my house. Listen, the girls don't have to be naked for Wreck-It Ralph to cheat. He gonna do that regardless. Girl, stop. Calm down. Kenya calls Sheree and tells her about it, and basically Kenya was just like, girl, this was, a bit much. Like, why? This doesn't have anything to do with anything. Marlo gets in her confessional and say Candy should just change her name to Freak Candy Burrs. I agree. I still, for the life of me, don't understand why she felt some type of way about somebody saying that she be sucking dick in the locker room. I still don't get it. Look at what you're doing. Not saying that it's true, but I'm just saying that's what people think about you. They just feel like you might be sucking some dick in the locker room. That's what people think. That's my opinion. Anyway, but yeah, Marlo don't need no more drawers. She got a whole bunch. So it's 5 a.m. Candy and Todd are getting into the Sprinter, and apparently they got the Sprinter for everybody so that everybody can arrive on time. Because the girls show up late. That's what they do. So they're getting into the Sprinter. They go to pick everybody up. They pick up first Drew and Ralph, and then Sanya and Aaron, and then Kenya get on and felt some type of way because she was just like, wait a minute, I didn't know this was a couple's trip. I thought this was a girl's trip. You never said that. Kenya gets in her confessionals and feels like Candy could have told me that. Girl, the producers played it back, and Candy did say if you got somebody to bring them. Just say you ain't had nobody to bring. Kenya, why you didn't get low value Mark to come out there, the Dancing with the Stars dudes? He could have came with you, girl. Just say you should have called him. Tell him to get on the plane, girl. The flights to New York ain't even that high. Stop just making something to be whiny about, Kenya. Anyway, Sheree get on and say she feels like it's a little awkward traveling with Drew, but at the end of the day, she going. She not about to have nobody mess up nothing she got going on. But she did say if Drew act crazy, she got receipts. I love it. I'm here for Sheree. I love Sheree. I love that Sheree is back. Just period. So Marlo gets on. Everybody's on the thing. And Candy asks how they like the invite. Child. Kenya say the invite had a lot going on. It didn't really have nothing to do with what we got going on. And Candy lets them know that they'll get to see the apartment, the Jersey apartment, when they get there. Listen, why? Why do they need to see the Jersey apartment? Girl, we don't even want to see the Jersey apartment. I guess. Anyway, so the next scene, they arrive, and the concierge gives Candy her keys and lets her know the food is ready. And if we don't know nothing about Candy, she always ready to eat. Candy was like, "Ooh, that's good. I'm hungry." I'm like, it don't surprise us, Candy. Go ahead on and get your food, girl. You don't drink. You might as well eat. Okay, so Sanya's excited, but she don't understand why Aaron wants a child right now, because she was just like, look, we able to travel. We finally able to leave little Deucey back at the crib. Why would you want to add another child to this? This doesn't make sense. Like, why would you want to do that? But you better give your man a child, because he said he's going to leave you. That's what he said, not me. Sheree, they talk about the toys again, and they was like, oh, Sheree, you can let Tyrone have your remote. Girl, Tyrone can't use that remote. He going to go back to jail. Y'all trying to send Tyrone back to jail? Don't do that. Don't let Tyrone live. He trying to be a free man. Anyway, so now they trying to see who's going to get the other penthouse suite. And Candy's challenge is who had the wildest sex story. And again, you wonder why they said you suck dick in the locker room. But let's go with it. So Candice wants to know who has the wildest sex story. The first person says something is Sonya, and Sonya said they had sex on the plane. Okay, you joined the Mile High Club. Haven't we all? Drew said, Drew feels like Sonya ain't never had sex outside of her head. It do give me them teas. Saying you just don't look like you be freaking it out. I'm just saying. Marlo said she had sex at the zoo, girl, and the giraffe was licking her face. She just made something up. Marlo even said it. Look, girl, Candy want to hear freak stories. I'm gonna say whatever it is she need me to say. Sheree said they had sex at the Ritz-Carlton with everybody watching, her and some man. Ralph said he was at the beach and they had whales passing by and they was just doing it. How the hell you gonna have a whale? How far back in the ocean was you to have whales passing by and y'all have it? It just gets on my nerves. But the biggest one was doggone Kenya. Kenya made up a story about some man shooting a coyote and they followed the blood trail and they get down there and it turns out they start having sex, but the whole thing turns out the coyote wasn't dead because they thought it was dead. Girl, give her the key. Even Candy had to say that was some bullshit, but let it ride, girl. Give her the key for creativity. Next scene, Sanya's getting her makeup done, and Aaron was like, oh, you know, I feel like everybody on good vibes, so it's gonna be cool. Sanya was just like, listen, that's what you saying, but at the last event we had at Brooklyn's birthday party, it went down. Drew has a whole beef going on with Sheree. It all came out of nowhere, and it's making her question basically like, am I really friends with the right person? Because Sanya feels like I would feel like, listen, I don't mind you having your own thing, but if it don't align with me and what I believe and what I feel, like it's gonna hit a little different. You know what I'm saying? So she's questioning that. On the flip side, Drew and Ralph is sitting down there, Wreck-It Ralph, as we want to call him, and she asking him to rub her feet. Girl, whatever. But she lets him know that Sheree's being nice, you know, so far. And Wreck-It Ralph tells her to watch her. Why? Because you know she got the receipts? Let's move on. So we move to the next scene. They're on the way to see Ty condo. For what? I don't know. Girl, they get up to the condo, girl. It's a mess. Ain't nothing done. They need to just throw the whole condo away and start over. Kenya decides that she can help them revamp the doggone thing and say, you need to put a fireplace here, close this wall in, do this, do that, do that. Todd, you need to just hire me. Let everybody get this bag. You get a bag, I get a bag, everybody get a bag. I can do your whole revamping of everything. Hire me, girl. Kenya had on her doggone hard hat saying, hire me, Todd. I'm the person you need. And you know what? It sounds like she knows what she's talking about because I don't even know builder or nothing like that. Candy feels like this apartment is not even convenient. It's outside of the city. It's not close. And basically, it's of no value to her. Like, it doesn't make sense. She just feels like it's close to him with his friends at so they can do fuckboy shit, basically. Sheree say, I understand Candy's concerns because the Atlanta streets be talking and everybody saying Tide is outside. Girl, they played the flashback of Portia telling Candy that Tide be out there hollering at girls telling people his name Marvin. I believe it. Heard it too. And this is from people, not from no internet. This is from people. I believe it. Listen, Candy, if you got reservations about your man having a shag pad, just say it and tell him he can't do it. He can't live without your fat. Just let him do it. Tell him, look, you can't have a shag pad. We not doing that. Sell it or I'm going to sell you. We're done. That's all you got to do. It's easy. He going to follow. He can't do nothing but follow. I mean, at this point, what are you going to do, girl? Just tell him. But Ty basically feels like he's always down there in Atlanta with her and her family. He wants to have something up there with his son and his boys. I didn't say his son. Well, his friends and whatever, whatnot. He feels like if it ain't about Candy, it ain't about nobody. And you know, the people actually agreed. They was just like, you know what? He kind of has a point. I understand where he's coming from, Candy. You got to let Ty be a man now. You done raised him enough. Let him be a man, girl. Let him have his shag pad if that's what he want to do. Them men going to cheat regardless. Ty feels like if shit goes left and he blow up and Candy don't, then it'll be a problem. Marlo said the only issue is it'll be with Candy's coin. Bloop. Let's move on. Marlo wonders if Candy feels away because he built something with someone else and not her. If that's the biggest issue on why Candy feels the way that she feels. I could see that. I could definitely see that. But personally, I would keep the condo. Girl, I would redo that doggone thing. Airbnb when I ain't there, and when I'm there, live it up. Girl, please hire a cleaning service. Girl, I wouldn't give a damn who he could have had it with 4 different women. We gonna fix this thing up. Girl, that's revenue. Don't you like a bag, Candy? Now you gonna let your bag drop because you in your feelings? Make it make sense. I'm just saying. Sheree understands Ty's point as far as him wanting to have something, but she feels like it don't even, their little New Jersey apartment don't compare to Chateau Sheree or that slab of dirt Marlo trying to build. Sheree, you about to stop it with the tea, girl. But Sanya asks how Candy actually feels, and Ralph jumps in, and Candy was like, listen, is your name Candy? Ralph, sit down. You act like a child. Like you got ADHD. Go lay down. Sit down. Go sit down. Anyway, Marlo says she should just call it a dungeon and keep it going. But Candy don't see the purpose. Candy just don't see the purpose of having this doggone place because Candy don't want to see the purpose. That's just what it is. Todd is happy that everybody agrees with him. But I'm just like, girl, let's get to the restaurant because we don't care because this is where the real tea happens. So they arrive at the restaurant. Candy lets them know the menu was already pre-selected. She lays out their entrees and their appetizers and all that stuff. And Sanya asked Candy and Drew why they not wearing their ring. Candy was just like, child, really, I ain't never hardly wore my ring. Drew decides to go into this lie of, after I had my baby, I had gained weight and then I lost weight and then it wouldn't fit and it was giving me trouble. So, recently I just took it off. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out the producers played the flashback. Girl, you ain't had a ring on since you got here. And the youngest ain't young enough for you to say that was right after you had a baby and losing weight. Again, either you stupid or this is all made up. It's an act. That's the only thing I could deduce from this. I just can't. Anyway, Ralph makes mention that he fired his assistant because Drew says that they have this challenge going on, 30-day challenge, where they gonna not argue. Sanya said y'all gonna be doing that challenge for the rest of y'all lives because y'all gonna argue. But Ralph says, Wreck-It Ralph, says that he done fired the assistant. And Drew feels like, listen, I get it, but we still have to discuss and go over what's going on while we're where we are. Ralph wants to know what is it that has to happen for you to get over it. Everybody at the table says time. Kenya jumps in and be the voice of reason and was just like, you can't expect her to get over something if you're not even acknowledging that you did something wrong. Like, you can't dictate how she moves and get over stuff when you are the perpetrator. You are the one causing the issue and you won't even acknowledge that it's an issue. How can you then turn around and say she needs to get over it? Like, build a bridge and get over it. It really doesn't make sense. But reassuring behavior is the key. That's how she's going to get over it. Meaning, stop acting a damn fool and flirting and dealing with everybody. Ralph says, y'all act like I'm just trying to go out there and find me an assistant with a big booty. Like, that's what I was going out there to do. That wasn't the case. And I'm just like, he is just so insensitive. Like, I really don't understand. Candy says, look, Wreck-It Ralph, you have to admit, the shit looks crazy. Like, you got to admit that it looks crazy. He doesn't really understand it. No, he understands it. He doesn't want to understand it. And Ralph feels like you need to have context before you just go up. Ain't no context. You're a cheater and you're a liar. Kenya says, you remind me so much of Mark. You actually are doing exactly what he used to do to me. Basically by gaslighting me. Girl, they played the flashback and it just gave me triggers just watching the flashback. Because although Kenya got on my nerves, I don't feel like she deserved to be treated the way she was treated. And she was like, you're doing the exact same thing. So she recognizes it. And Kenya says, oh, because see, if that was me, I would flip this table. No, Kenya, we saw you in action. You didn't flip nothing. You didn't even flip your eyes when Mark was getting your ass together. You didn't. So let's not act like you would have did other things. Everybody say stuff when they're outside of the stuff. Kenya lets Wreck-It Ralph know that this girl don't want to feel unvalidated. You know what I mean? Like, she wants to feel like her complaints and what she's saying is real. Don't try to not violate it, but don't try to doggone gaslight her into thinking that she's not, what she's seeing is not what it is. Kenya recognized that Drew is really hurt because Drew was just like, you get defensive when I bring stuff up and you shouldn't. When Ralph makes mention he didn't go out there and try to hire a woman with a big booty, Marlo asked, did he get the help from Magic City? I'm trying to figure out who probably did. now that you say it, Marlo. Candy says it's worse to have her working so close with you, like, especially if you know it's causing an issue with your wife. Like, why would you even want her to work so close with you? You are creating an issue right then and there. Basically, everybody's telling Ralph, you sound stupid, bro. Ralph goes on to say it happens different for everybody. Everybody's occurrences are different. The way you experience something is not the way I'm going to experience it. And I'm like, that's another gaslighting technique. It's just some bull crap. Kenya says that Wreck-It Ralph is tearing her down to make it feel like he's right and she's wrong, and it's not okay. Drew gets into her confessional and says she's very happy that Kenya is able to articulate the exact way she feels, because that's exactly how she feels. Like, basically, he's trying to gaslight me and make me feel like I'm tripping, and I'm not. But Marlo jumped in and said the best thing out of everybody at that table. At the end of the day, when Kenya said, Drew, you have to blame on this because you don't know how to let stuff go, Marlo hollers, listen, girl, I blame you. You allowing him to do that. Man ain't gonna do nothing but what you allow him to do. If you allow him to do all this to you, then it's on you. I've been saying this. Listen, I don't mind helping people, giving them advice, but if you keep running back in the rabbit hole of the BS, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. Deal with your problems, fat. Don't call me. But don't call me if you're going to keep running back in that rabbit hole. Marlo said the most profound thing. You allow it. When Kenya brought up the fact that you don't like to let things go, then she goes there with the Marlo. She swung it on over to, not Marlo, she swung it all over to Sheree. And she says, even with the thing with Sheree, you don't like to let stuff go. Drew's response was, well, ultimately, I don't start nothing. I'm the type of person, I don't start nothing. But if don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. Because if so, I'll finish it. Sheree was like, but you didn't finish it. And Drew goes on to say, it's different because she said something about my husband. Somebody brought up something about my husband. Nobody would take that, to heart. Well, Candy was like, well, girl, don't you realize that the person who said that about your husband is your assistant? Like, are you not connecting the dots? Drew hollers, well, I don't have no receipts for that. Sheree said, well, stand by, bitch. I got him. So Sheree pulls out her phone and shows a picture of Ralph and Dennis on the phone that she got from her assistant Anthony, and said, basically, Anthony sent me this picture and said, I got T on Drew's baby daddy / husband too. Hold on. So now you have the proof that this boy's around there talking about you. And I know you knew that. You just needed to see it because you wanted to deny everything. So she was like, at the end of the day, it's Anthony that's the problem, not me. And I don't believe Sheree had old girl say that. I believe that Anthony actually said it because he's messy. Listen, this is one thing about being messy. When people are super messy up to you about other people, you got to know they're doing that about you. So I don't understand why she didn't believe it. Child, she was like, he is the one who said your husband was gay. Girl, Wreck-It Ralph turned around and said, wait, what? And Sheree was like, the rumor is you gay. Anthony is going around saying you gay. And then the episode cuts off. Girl, look, let me tell y'all something. If this is making for good TV, I'm hoping this is an act and they're playing, like, you know what I mean, with the whole Wreck-It Ralph and Drew thing. Because if not Drew, you about the silliest thing. You the silliest person Martin Luther King died for at the end of the day. That's just my opinion. But anyway, y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14, episode 4. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you hoes later. Bye.